Good evening, ghosts and ghouls. It's the one, the only JT Ripper, and I'm here with
Todd of Thunder.
And you're listening to a horrible podcast where today we're actually going to be reviewing a movie that came out in 2022, but we never got around to it until now. And there's nothing else really to review, so we checked out The Menu.
The Menu.
The Menu. How to put this into a quick synopsis. You have this gentleman that his girlfriend broke up with him last minute, so he gets or hires an escort to accompany him to this exclusive, fancy island where they do limited amounts of people. It's very like high society, exclusive high society people go here. He's lucky enough to get on there. So they go to this island. They're showing him around. Things are a little bit weird because you start getting this cult-like vibe with this staff and everything like that. And then, of course, dinner ensues, and then that's when all things go to hell.
Yeah, the chef is pretty much a cult leader. He's pretty much a world famous chef, and he's making all of these limited dishes for these people, and he never does like the same menu twice. So it's always like you go there it's really a once in a lifetime, I guess, opportunity is how they promote it. And you know, he's your typical, like, I'm the best in the world chef type of deal. And these people have plenty of money to go to this island to spend on this. So it's kind of one of those things where it's, you know, the more I pay for it, the better it is.
Yeah, and he pretty much handpicked these people, and they're all a bunch of shitbags.
Yeah, most of them are all shitbags. There's an actor. There's like 3 guys that are like high ups in this other company that's
kind of like your MVPs and
that's
CEOs.
supposed to be invested into this island, or kind of like the chef's boss, or at least funds him, I guess.
They were the money portion of it, like they helped with the money.
They funded it.
No, they didn't fund it. The guy that got drowned with the angel wings, he was the investor. These guys worked for the investor, but come to find out, they were taking money from the company and pocketing it.
Yeah, one was an actor,
washed up actor.
I think there was 2. Wasn't there a woman that was an actor too that had like her agent with her or something?
No, she was a
critic.
Food critic.
Okay, she was a food critic.
She was a food critic, and pretty much if she didn't like your restaurant or she didn't like you, she would write these god awful reviews and get your shit shut down.
Yeah, so. And then you kind of had these outcasts, which is what we were talking about. The guy who, kind of hires an escort to go with him type of deal. And there's no real backstory on him. We don't know what the hell he does until later on in the movie. But
you assume he's a cook, by the way. He's so infatuated with the cook and the cooking skills and techniques and appliances. And then come to find out he's a phony. A big, fat phony.
Yeah. And doesn't really tell like how he got the money or how he can be in the league of these people. Because, I mean, when he gets there, I mean, it's pretty obvious that he's out of place and he's almost in awe of the other people.
Yeah, he's very awkward. But you think he's kind of like going to be the main character, but it's not him.
No, and then as the movie goes along, they're serving dishes and they're just trying these dishes one after another and, whatever. And
a lot of people are liking it. And
yeah, they're kind of doing their thing. There's some people criticizing. There's some people just going about their, just having a good time or whatever. I mean, it's a lot of dialogue between the people that, you just have to watch to completely understand these people.
Yeah.
And, one thing leads to another, and, the chef and his crew already act very strange, but it gets to like a cult-like following type of deal towards like when it really picks up and you're really like, what's going on here? And that's what happens. He actually gets one of his
assistants.
Yeah, one of his assistants who is, all intents and purposes a good cook and even praised by the chef, but the chef has an ego so goddamn big. He's like, oh, you're good, but you'll never be me.
Yeah.
And because of that, he gets the guy, I mean, he shoots himself in the fucking, like, puts the gun in his mouth and just
yeah.
Blows his fucking nugget off.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. And then that's when everything started to take...
yeah. And, most of the characters there thought that it was just a part of the show. There's no way that this could be real, So, even though there's this, like, horrifying thing, it's almost like, this is just a part of the show.
Yeah. And then you have the tortillas that showed... They did like this Mexican dish, and on the tortillas it had like images on the tortillas of all of their pretty much dirty secrets. Like the main guy was taking pictures of the food he wasn't supposed to be.
Yeah.
Then you had the actor. It had like his worst movie.
Yeah.
Logo on his.
The old guy was sitting there with a young girl, and
come to find out is the actual escort of the guy that brought
the other guy.
Yeah, and then the people that ran the finances, it had like their money laundering.
Yeah,
like,
it basically had
pics.
them on there stealing the stuff.
Yeah, and then shit starts going really south.
Yeah, and like I said, the chef, his ego was pretty big. Like there's a scene in the movie where he's supposed to serve bread, and he doesn't because bread is a poor man's food. It's a peasant food. So he like brings out all these sauces and all these like different kind of spread stuff that you normally would put on butter or put on bread, but no bread. He just expects these people to just eat this shit with no bread, and simply because he thinks bread is beneath him as far as like, being a poor man's food, because that's what peasants used to do back in the day. They just, bread and water.
Pretty much. The movie's kind of like Knives Out. With a horror movie twist. Not as great as Knives Out, but it's pretty on par. You start to make connections with other people and their fuck-ups, and you start realizing that everybody that's there is pretty much a very bad person. The escort, her only, like, claim to being a bad person is she's an escort. That's it.
Pretty much. I mean, going into the island, she's looked at as like kind of the low form, and all these like rich cocksuckers are so much better than her, but she's the main star, so by the end of the film, like, they're all fucking up shit's creek, and she's the only one that has any goddamn street smarts to know anything to think about,
Right.
what to do or whatever.
So she pretty much starts hating the food and everything, and then there comes a conflict between her and the chef, and he wants to know like what he's doing wrong, and then he wants to know why she's even there, because he had this plan for everybody that was there, and it's very strategic of why they were there, and she threw a monkey wrench in the game plan. So,
yeah, and his whole goal that night is just to kill everybody, including himself. He's going to kill his whole staff. He's going to kill everybody there, and he's just, I guess, going down. He's just sick of being criticized. He's sick of cooking for people that he doesn't feel appreciates it. He doesn't put any passion or love in his food anymore. He's not, he's just not passionate about what he's doing. So I get, he has this, I'm going down in a blaze of glory, literally, attitude. But first he has this whole evening planned out for these people, and he's going to kind of torture them and put them on edge kind of a bit. But he's not like he's insane and he's a fucking weirdo, but he's not like violent. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not like rude violent. He's more like, this guy's crazy and he has a plan and he's going to stick to it. And
he's more of that.
For the most part, he's nice to people.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like he's kind of like a anal, nice asshole. Yeah, he's very like things have to go exactly how he wants them to go, and you pretty much work through everything. He tries to let the men go.
Gives them like a 45-second head start.
And if they get away, then they can go send for help and then come back. But
he sends his staff after him, and they retrieve all of them.
Yeah,
because they're on this island. They don't really have anywhere to go anyway.
Yeah,
and he's got plants all around the island. And when I mean plants, I mean like he planted people in case something goes down. Like the rescue boat dude that came in that everybody thought was going to save him, but ended up just working for the chef.
Yeah. Because he gives the main girl an option to either die as one of them, the cook, the hardworking people, or to die with the unworthy people, which is, your celebrities and stuff like that. So she pretty much makes her choice to die with them and everything. And he has this barrel for the last dessert, and for some reason it's not there. And he gets her to go to retrieve it in one of these barns or something like that. But of course she breaks the vow of just going to get that, and she goes into his house, which nobody's supposed to go in. And she starts snooping around, and she sees his past and how he got started, and his love for cooking. Like you could literally see, like you could see like the lifeless expression to where he was, all the way down to when he his first big article.
Yeah,
like he was like happy and smiling.
Yeah, the more successful he got, the less happier he became.
Right. And of course, his the cook's assistant, like his right-hand woman or right-hand man, however you want to say it, pretty much stalked her, and she said that she did bring that barrel there, and he don't know what he's up to. And then of course they have a fight scene. She gets fucking jabbed in the jugular, and then she takes the can of whatever the fuck it is. I never said it was. It was something for the dessert. And she just drops it, and he says, all right, have a seat. And she takes a seat. And yeah, it's a lot more exciting watching it than it is talking about it, honestly.
Yeah, it's one of those films where you have to sit down and watch it. I mean, we can't really
convey.
We can't really put into words like the excitement watching it, because it's a lot of weird shit that doesn't make sense explaining it, but when you watch it, everything makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, everything goes down pretty smoothly, and, you know, it's a good movie. From beginning to end, it's a pretty intriguing movie. You want to see, you know, what comes next. And, you know, it kind of keeps you on the edge of your seat a little bit, like, what's going to happen? Like, is this guy going to turn really violent? Is he going to stay the same? Who's going to die? Is there going to be another, you know, splatter scene or whatever?
Yeah.
Is one of his staff members going to finally come to their senses and help him? Like, there has to be, you know, you don't know, like, is there going to be a survivor of this at all? Like,
yeah. And she to me, kind of takes like a chance last second, and she sends the food back, which you're not supposed to do. That's a big no-no. So she sends the food that he prepared back because she says that it's not cooked with love, and he doesn't know how to cook anymore. And then she pretty much mind fucks him, and then he says, "What do you want? And I'll cook it." And she asks for a cheeseburger with French fries. And back at the house, the picture of him was him cooking burgers when he first got his start.
Yeah.
So when he's like cooking the burger, you can actually see him like putting passion into how he's cooking the burger.
Yeah, he seems very happy cooking this simple cheeseburger rather than doing these elegant dishes that, you know, I don't know, fish balls, whatever the fuck he was cooking. I don't know. Some rich caviar cocksucker food.
And then he presents the food to her, and she takes one bite and says, "I'm full, can I get this to go?" And he's all about customer service.
Yeah.
Like, he's very adamant about customer service. You
like, even to the bitter end, his ego is so big, and he's, you know, he can't stand it if he's not number one at everything. And if you're a chef, one thing is pleasing people and customer service. I mean, that's what you're doing. You're cooking food for people to get their positive reaction, hopefully.
Right.
And not only that, but, you know, he thinks back to when, you know, he was working as a cook, and he probably owned like a little burger joint or whatever, and he was all about customer service. Like, if they want it to go, let's put it in a baggie and they can take it home and eat it, you know, whatever. And
as long as they enjoy the food.
And that's how she gets away. Like, that's literally how she gets away. It's one of those endings where I don't know if it's very, I don't know if it's clever or if it's like, I'm still trying to decide in my head.
Yeah, because even after he let her go, he looks at the rest of them. He was like, you know, if y'all would have tried a little bit harder, you probably could have took me down and got out of here, and y'all all would have survived tonight.
Yeah.
And they're just like looking at each other like, huh? And they still didn't do anything.
Yeah, because the girl is basically the only one that would stand up to him or had any balls. Because, like I said, she's cut from a different cloth. You know, she's a street girl. You could tell she's a street girl. You can tell that she's street smart, and everybody else is just rich cocksuckers that are used to getting their way. And if something is out of the ordinary, they don't know how to fucking react to it.
Right. And then, you know, the ultimate end, the last dish is the classic take on s'mores. And he burns everybody up, including himself.
He makes a big old... She escapes. She gets on the boat, and she gets out of there. And then, you see him light... I mean, he lights everybody on fire, including himself. His kitchen staff turns on the oven.
Yeah, the ovens.
Like the gas to the oven, so everything will blow up. And basically everybody's a fucking, burnt crispy piece of chicken. And she's...
chicken.
She's like floating on this boat, like kind of looking at what she escaped from, and she opens the bag, gets her cheeseburger out, and starts eating it, just kind of looking in awe of it. And that's pretty much where the movie goes off. So Yeah, that's the menu.
In a nutshell.
And, we'll tell you some of the people that play in this movie. Anna Taylor-Joy, she's the main girl in this movie. She played in The Witch in 2015. She played in One Night in Solo. That's a newer film.
Sobo.
I believe, didn't she play in The New Mutants?
Possibly.
I feel like she played in The New Mutants. Anyway, the chef is Ralph Fiennes. You might know him. He was the main bad guy in the movie Red Dragon from 2002. Nicholas Hoult, he's the one that kind of tricks her into going. He plays Hank in X-Men First Class and when the X-Men are younger. John Leguizamo, he's probably the most well-known actor in this movie, besides the main girl. She's getting pretty popular, but to all the old movie watchers, he's from everything. Mostly, I put Land of the Dead because that's a good horror film to reference.
Yeah, I mean, he was in The Pest. He played the clown in Spawn. He does the voice of a kid from Ice Age.
Yeah, and he's playing some stinkers too, like The Happening and shit like that. And
yeah,
his politics are fucking stupid. He's actually one of these cocksuckers that are like, you know what? I don't think a white person should play a Latino in a film. And this is the same guy who is Latino himself, but played a fucking Italian in the fucking Mario Brothers movie. Sit down, shut up, and fuck off. Act and shut up.
What was that? What was that movie where they were drag queens?
That was the one with Wesley Snipes and Patrick Swayze and John Leguizamo. Fuck, man! If you wouldn't have asked me, I would have told you.
I know. I bought you the fucking VHS for Christmas.
I can't remember the name of it.
Anyway,
not this Christmas. Like 10 Christmases ago.
Yeah, it's still a good movie though.
Yeah,
he's still a good actor.
He is a good actor, and I actually like him. He just, he's just one of these Hollywood cocksuckers that needs to keep his mouth shut about politics and especially identity politics, because nobody wants to see that. I mean, if you make movies or you make shit that I enjoy, please don't do shit to where I'm like, I see your name on it and I go, no, I'm skipping it, because I don't want to do that.
Yeah. He shouldn't play a sloth.
Yeah.
Because he's not a sloth.
Yeah.
Ooh, the last dandelion.
But,
back to the menu.
Yeah,
anyway.
From beginning to end, I enjoyed it. It kept me on my toes. I'm still not sure about the ending, but other than that, I mean, the whole movie, I'd probably give it, out of a 10, I'd probably give it a 7.5.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was leaning towards at first, but now I'm kind of leaning towards a 7. Because I don't know how I feel about the ending myself. I think it was a little cheesy, honestly. Like, I felt like it could have, like, everything that was so well planned out to have such a simple comedic ending.
Well, maybe that's what makes it so great, is that it was simple. But then again, maybe because it was simple, it was kind of lazy. Yeah. Or maybe they just got to that point and they just didn't know what the fuck to do, so they just did that. And, unfortunately, with a lot of new movies that come out, they try to do that, oh my God, shocking, not shocking ending, but like, oh, did you see that? That was pretty clever. And, half of them is maybe clever and half of them is like, that's fucking pretty stupid.
Right.
So you got, like, right in the middle, and then you always get debates like, oh, you just didn't understand it, or, hey, you're fucking have bad taste, or whatever. At least you get to talk about it. But the movie, I'm still debating on the ending, whether I like it. What I'm debating on is whether I think it's clever or just kind of cheap.
I felt like the ending could have been better, honestly. I think that he could have done something a little more like creative, like I don't know, make them choose, you know, by them killing themselves, or I don't know, the like he could have gave like the main girl a choice, like if you leave there'll be consequences or some shit like that, and then when she turns on the boat, kaboom.
There was a lot of things in this film that were like outrageous, but then there's kind of some things that were realistic. Like normally in a Hollywood movie, if you let somebody go and there's people left behind, that person becomes a hero and tries to get them out. She didn't. She fucking hauled ass, which is very realistic. That's what I would have done. Because I didn't. I mean,
there's no redeemable qualities
back in the day
about these people.
Back in the day, the reason why this girl would be a hero is that she would save all these people. And even though these people are not worth saving, that's what doubly makes her a hero. But that's not how the real world works.
No.
Like, good doesn't always win, and bad, sometimes prevails. And,
right.
Good people can be heroes, and good people can be smart as well.
My thing is, I think that this movie was very well acted. Like, everybody played their part to a T. Like, it wasn't like, oh, this person was slacking or that person was slacking. Everybody done an amazing job acting-wise. Storytelling, I thought storytelling was very, very well done. I like the atmosphere. I think when things get like closed in, it keeps it very tense.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they did a very good job keeping it tense. They kept the storyline interesting even to the very last second. This isn't like your over-the-top gore fest. So if you want to see a high body count, keep scrolling because you're not going to get it.
Nope. This is more relies more on story and character-driven plot than gore or body count. So there you go.
Yeah, it's a goodie though. I think it's a reason why a lot of people last year was talking about the menu. Is very well deserved.
Yeah, I think
it still wasn't as good as like Barbarian or Terrifier 2 or anything like that. But
no, but I think if we done like our top 10 of 2022,
I think it would
it'd probably fall in there.
Yeah,
I could see it having. Maybe not at the top, but certainly somewhere on that list you can find a place for this film because it's too good to be left off.
Right. I think it would probably make like 6 or 7 on my list.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we just want to say thank you as always, for tuning in and listening to our crappy opinions on this. But if you get a chance, check out the menu. It's definitely worth a watch. It's up on HBO Max right now, so if you have that, stream it. It's worth your time. It's I'd say it's worth buying also.
Yeah, I'd add it to my collection. Bust it out every once in a while and take it for a stroll.
Yeah, I think it's definitely one of those movies you could rewatch and maybe find like little hints and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's definitely one of those movies you can watch with another person, and you guys can get enjoyment out of. It's not one of those films where you have to like pay close attention to, and
But you should though. You should pay attention because everything like connects.
Yeah, I mean it does, but I mean it's not like little hints and stuff like that. I mean, you can watch with your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whatever, and
yeah, it's a good date night movie.
Pause it and attend to your fucking meth habits.
Well, as always, thank you for tuning in.
Funds with you,
Funds.
bastard.
You bastard.
Toodaloo, this is Ty. Toodaloo, Ty the Thunder. Toodaloo.
I'm JT Ripper, and who knows what's next on the menu.